It was kind of a rough night for me. I wasn't doing so good.
Where are you guys from?
Colorado.
Homeless for a year.
Seemed like we were a bunch of dirty homeless kids. You have nowhere else to go, and it's like sometimes that's true, but like it's more than that.
So you're a Colorado kid?
Yeah, I'm born and raised here.
I love
We know how it feels to be out here and be up for days. And it kills you. It starts to kill you.
You don't see many 50-year-olds, to be honest with you. One thing that really gets overlooked is the dental issues. No one even thinks about these kids and their teeth and the bacterias in their mouth. And whenever we get these trafficking victims, these addicts, kids, runaways, they haven't brushed their teeth in months, and
I just dropped off.
they don't know any better at the time, you know. But where do you brush your teeth if you're homeless? What do you rinse the toothbrush off with? You know, just those simple things that we just take for granted. We don't think about. You know, do you rinse your toothbrush in the Platte River? So Denver's very unique. We are a hub for drugs.
And they say within about 48 hours of a kid being on the street, they're probably propositioned to do some sort of sexual act.
Because there are the abilities to get your prescriptions here, which then leads to the heroin addictions, which then leads to the runaways, which leads to the prostitution. When you look at it, it's all circles around.
This is Callie's handbag. She had on the table when she died. And inside is Callie's student ID, Callie's medical marijuana card, and here's Callie's obituary.
But the fact that you're willing to come forward and explain the things that happened to Callie and your efforts and build that understanding, it could be any kid. Could be any kid.
Well, Jackie and I met about 5 years ago, and I had been involved with youth services for a number of years, including the Urban Peak Shelter, and we met down at the shelter for homeless youth. And Jackie came up and proceeded to take out a picture of Callie, and it was this beautiful young woman from high school. And I just thought that she was just amazing. Then subsequently I had met Callie and saw the sort of ravages of what she was going through. When we lost Callie, that was a real shot to my heart. And a lesson learned for me personally, that life is very short and precious.
Because we as parents have the ability to miss things, to miss warning signs, because we don't want to believe, and then our kids are telling us, no, that's not the case. I'm not addicted. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And we want to believe them. And a lot of times we are misled into believing them, which isn't our fault. It's just the state of our parenting.
I lost my daughter to these streets. So it's my life's mission to go out personally onto the streets and try to help a few kids. When I started Callie's Backyard Foundation back in 2009 and realized the whole scope of the sex trafficking, the prostitution, and things like that were going on in the state of Colorado was just devastating to me. I couldn't believe it. So I also realized at that point in time that the need for food, for shelter, for a population that I call my lost society is 18 to 27. 18 and under has its own set of organizations that are clearly helping. The adult shelters that are in place are clearly helping those that are 27 to 65. But this population is very, very underserved. What I also realized was at this point in time during these years, my daughter passed away. I realized the drug addiction, I realized the prescription drugs, and I realized that Colorado needed a lot of help. Our entire country needs a lot of help, but my heart lies right here in the Colorado-based area. Callie's food truck will be the only direct service operated by the foundation. We intend to operate and serve free sandwiches 3 days per week during the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Callie's food truck staff will work with outreach teams and service providers for this population. We want to be able to provide resource information to meet the homeless youth's basic needs. We went ahead and purchased our small van so that we could deliver our sandwiches and take the action on the streets of Denver.
So nice, thank you.
But with the little van, we are only able to have coolers, and we have to make all of our sandwiches at the commissary and then drive to hand them out. What we're looking for in this project and the initiative is to be able to afford a large food truck where we can drive it and we are able to make sandwiches on the spot in the mapped out areas that we have. How powerful is that for these kids to be able to come up to the food truck and be able to order a grilled cheese sandwich or a burger, something that we could make right on the spot without them having to pay for it. The food truck would also allow us to be able to carry a lot more product. It would allow us to carry more people so we can use this as an outreach program in the community. I'm finding that a lot of organizations really want our help. They want the ability to be mobile and go out into these areas.
And Streets Hope is really excited to partner with Callie's Backyard Foundation in terms of addressing the local issue of sex trafficking that's happening here in our Denver communities. For those of you who don't know or who may not be aware, sex trafficking is prevalent here in the U.S. and in Colorado and in our own backyard here in the city of Denver. Typically, the average age of entry into the sex trade is 13 years old, which just blows my mind in terms of that being a child and them entering something so dark as the sex industry. Typically in Denver, 1 in 3 homeless youth will be propositioned for sex work within 48 hours of running away from home. We're excited to partner with Callie's Backyard in a few different ways, one of which is we're so happy that they're launching their food truck to go out and serve food to homeless youth here in our Denver area. We know that that meals don't always come as easily as we would hope for some of the folks experiencing homelessness, and so we're excited that they're going out to directly serve these homeless youths that are not getting the services that they need. We're also excited to partner with Callie's Backyard on a quarterly basis. Streets Hope does a street outreach for women that are still trapped in the commercial sex industry, and the food truck will be providing some great meals for the ladies that we're going out to connect with during our quarterly street outreach. So these are just a few ways that we're partnering, and we're so thankful for your support and for your interest in supporting Callie's Backyard Foundation and the issue of sex trafficking here and ways that we can address it.
We as police entities really do need people such as you and organizations that really look at the big picture, because our job really as cops is we handle the immediate threat. We don't have the time, the resources to look into long-term mental health, and we're not the experts in it. So what we need to do is focus on working with you all, citizens and groups, to say, okay, we made this arrest, we have this problem, what can you help us with? And we've done a great job with the human trafficking aspect. You're doing a great job now, and you're doing a great job working with different organizations, because the runaway issues are a lot of times not police related as much. So it's nice to see you working with other organizations, and you're really branching out and doing great work in the homeless population right now.
Interacting with these kids on the street is a much better solution to try to solve some of these problems. Even if we only connect with one person, one idea, only if we touch one heart, this will have all been worthwhile. Our total dollar amount for our goal and our project is $300,000. The amounts of the food truck is around $180,000. We need one person who will help us coordinate the entire program and be an assistant on this particular project. We've already received so many community volunteers, so we know we're making a calendar for everyone, It's amazing how the community has begun to chip in, and we haven't even had our lunch yet. It will take an entire community to make real change in Denver. This is why I'm asking you for your volunteerism. I'm asking for your donation to truly affect real change in Denver in the youth homeless community, ages 18 to 27. Please join us.